David Ornstein, active weekend in terms, unfortunately, of managers getting sacked over this past weekend. Let's begin in Southampton. No real surprise. They're in last place. They part ways with Russell Martin. What do you know about what's next?
Yeah, this was a long time coming, Paul, wasn't it? The writing had been on the wall, and I think Southampton gave Russell Martin a lot longer than pretty much any other club would have, and that shows the respect they had for him and the job that he did bringing them into the Premier League and implementing a decent style of football. But the fans by the end were just not having him at all. Their defence was malfunctioning, that was clear for all to see. Also, the style of play was not turning into chances or goals. And by the end, it was just untenable. There were injuries, there were suspensions, but they put a lot of faith in Russell Martin. They gave him a new contract when they got promoted to the Premier League. They let him have a big say in recruitment, but they'd lost Jason Wilcox, their director of football, to Manchester United during the second half of last season, and things just haven't been right ever since. Now, what do they do next? They're actively pursuing this situation now. They're having conversations with potential candidates. I think there could even be an appointment this week, maybe next week, depending on negotiations and exit clauses and the likes. But they'll be weighing up candidates not just to be a sort of firefighter, not a fixer for the short term or the interim. I think they want to bring in somebody now with the understanding that they may go down. Not that they've given up, but it's a possibility. And so they want somebody who could tap into their sort of identity that Russell Martin has started, be much better defensively and on set pieces, and lead them as part of their project for the long term. This season, the following season, and beyond. We're seeing names like Danny Roll, who was formerly an assistant at Southampton, doing a really good job at Sheffield Wednesday. The problem is there is a big compensation. I don't actually know of any talks with him. I must be clear on that. So there will be other names in the frame too. He's quite young and inexperienced. The likes of Kasper Heung-Min, who was the Denmark coach, he's now out of work. Southampton have looked at him in the past. Their financial situation is okay, actually. They've sorted out their wages to turnover ratio, which was really high when they were last in the Premier League. It's not now. So they have some capacity to do something in January, but I think they'll want to trim the squad as a priority. They'll lose players like Leslie Ugochukwu back to Chelsea when he gets called back from his loan, I'm sure. There may be players who return from loan. They may be able to do a bit here and there. They'll just be looking for an upturn in performance and try and make the best of the remainder of what's been a pretty difficult season.
We sat right here in these spots, David, a week ago Monday and kind of wondered aloud about Gary O'Neill with Wolves and how much longer he had as manager of that club. He also gets sacked after the Wolves lost to Ipswich over the weekend. What are you hearing about his possible replacement?
Well, O'Neill's departure was really a matter of when rather than if by the end. The players had started to fight with each other on the pitch. The fans were not happy at all. I think he would have gone sooner if Wolves had credible options available to them. I said on NBC that they explored the likes of Graham Potter, of David Moyes, of Allegri, of Conceição, but they did not want the job. And then if you go down to the lower rung of managers, with all due respect to Rob Edwards, Carlos Corberán, and a number of others maybe in the Championship or abroad like Heung-Min, who I mentioned earlier, are they guaranteed to do you a better job than Gary O'Neill? The verdict was no. He had a stay of execution, but now, understandably, he's gone. I revealed yesterday that they are working on a deal to appoint Vitor Pereira. He's 56 years old, Portuguese, currently working at Al Shabab in the Saudi Pro League. There is a release clause in his contract. Wolves are ready to pay that. Personal terms should not be a problem because Pereira wants to move to Molineux, and he's also keen on working with the calibre of players that Wolves have got at their disposal in that squad that Gary O'Neill was in the end struggling with. Pereira is vastly experienced. He's well regarded in the game. He's been heavily linked with the Premier League in the past. His opportunities didn't come then. It looks like it will now. He has won titles with Porto, with Olympiacos in Greece. He's managed in many different countries. He has a strong coaching staff around him. He speaks really good English. If you look at his points to games ratio for most of his career, replicate that at Wolves and they should be fine to avoid relegation. What it does bring is a return to prominence of George Mendes, the so-called super agent, who Wolves have relied on heavily in the past. But under their sporting director, Matt Hobbs, who's done an impressive job, they were trying to move away from that with, say, O'Neill. But Pereira is a Mendes client, and that's an interesting dynamic in all of this. It's not done yet. They're working to get him in position for the crucial trip to Leicester City on Sunday, and they will hope that Vitor Pereira is the man to lead them to survival and hopefully for them a positive future.
David Ornstein with the future of Wolves and Southampton. Thank you, David.
Hi there, I'm Rebecca Lowe, studio host of NBC's coverage of the Premier League. Don't forget to hit subscribe to watch more videos all season long. And if you want even more Premier League content, from original series to live matches, head over to Peacock.